Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben and in this video I want to take us in a slightly different direction than we would normally go in. This channel is typically about confidence and life advice for the average Joe, and whilst I do believe that what I'm about to share in this video is going to be helpful to the average Joe, it's not necessarily in alignment with the typical content that I do on this channel. So we'll see how this goes. What I want to talk about today is the scarcity mindset. And the main reason that I want to talk about the scarcity mindset is because this is something that comes up in self-improvement all the time. Almost every self-improvement guru that I've seen at one point or another talks about scarcity mindset, and they mostly get it wrong. And more importantly, they seem to get it wrong for some less than ethical reasons. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. Hopefully I'm not going to be too serious. I will be able to make this kind of light, but I just want you to understand what scarcity mindset is and why so many self-help gurus are talking about it. So I first heard about scarcity mindset when I was going through my massive self-help phase when I was in my early 20s. And the way that it was explained to me was that more or less scarcity mindset is when you are so afraid of losing money that you won't spend money in order to invest in yourself and in your future. And I want you to hold that in your mind as we talk about what scarcity mindset actually is, and then talk about why self-help gurus talk about the aforementioned definition of scarcity mindset rather than what the actual definition of it is. So I'm not an economist, I am not a psychologist. I've got a psychology degree, but that by no means makes me an expert. So with that out of the way, here's what you need to know. There are two types of scarcity mindset. There is the definition that comes from the gurus that I've already shared, and then the other definition comes from economists and behavioral psychologists. And, you know, the crossover of those two things in behavioral economics and other related fields. And what scarcity mindset actually is what I'm about to say right now. A scarcity mindset or scarcity mentality is when you have a lack of financial or economic resources which restrict your ability to make good decisions. In psychology and behavioral economics, there is this idea of cognitive bandwidth, which is the idea that your brain can only deal with taking on so much at a time. You could call this mental energy or willpower or whatever it is that you want to call it. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to call it cognitive bandwidth. So basically the theory of it is that people who are poor or struggling financially or come from low economic backgrounds will have reduced cognitive bandwidth due to the fact that most of their day-to-day life is taken up with surviving financially until the next day. Now, I want to be perfectly clear that on average, when you compare someone who has a lot of money with someone who has very, very little money, there is almost no real difference in intelligence, in health, in most factors that you would think that matter. It's not that people who have a lot of money just have bigger brains than the people who don't have money. And the simple fact of the matter is, when you have limited cognitive bandwidth, basically when you are so caught up with trying to survive day-to-day financially, people living paycheck to paycheck, for example, or even paycheck to payday loan to paycheck, you typically don't have the mental energy to project too far into the future because your concerns are very, very immediate. And so a scarcity mindset refers to how that cognitive bandwidth can be eaten up very, very quickly by pressing financial and economic concerns to the point where an individual tends not to make good decisions because that bandwidth is all taken up. And that is what a scarcity mindset is. Now, the guru definition, as I've said before, is more or less scarcity mindset is you being afraid of investing your money in yourself and selfishly spending your money on you instead of investing it in your future. And of course, when they say investing it in your future, they of course mean spending $5,000 for their affiliate marketing course. Now, the way that I understand it, there's two main reasons why gurus do this. The first reason is because they have a lot of money, they have a lot of socioeconomic power, they have a lot of good things going for them. They don't want for a whole lot. Being at the top of the self-improvement game is extremely lucrative, and there's an extremely low barrier to entry as long as you are willing to put in a bunch of work into it, like 3 to 5 years. Like, anyone can become a self-improvement guru. You don't need any qualifications. You just need a relatively charismatic personality and an endless access to Instagram motivational quotes, and you'll kill it every single time. And so these people tend to have a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of privilege, and because of that, they are vastly out of touch with the average person. Sure, they've got a team of marketers usually working with them that will be constructing lead pages and creating good copy that will appeal to the majority of people. This does not mean that they understand them. It just means that they understand that saying this word instead of this one creates a 5% click-through rate higher than the previous lead page. And that when they say this thing to you instead of this thing, it creates a higher level of conversion, which means more sales, which means more money, which means they can put more into ads, which means they can make more sales. And that means they can go and buy another Lamborghini, which they can then put into a video to tell you, all anyone can achieve this lifestyle as long as you're willing to completely forsake the people that you came up with and rinse them for every dollar that they have to sell them a dream and to provide them a $5,000 course that of course they could learn for absolutely free with like 3 Google searches. So that's the first reason. They're rich, they're powerful, and they're out of touch. And the second reason is the most important reason of all, and I've already alluded to it in this video. They tell you that a scarcity mindset is you being afraid to invest in self and living too much in the now and giving into those selfish desires such as putting food on the table for your kids and paying for petrol to get to work, instead of investing that in your future by buying their over expensive course or going to their seminar or buying their books, something like that. What they are doing is that they are framing a bad financial decision as something that you need to do or you will remain poor. And the worst part about this is that the actual definition of scarcity mindset, an actual scarcity mentality, will predispose people to taking up that offer because it seems like a good decision. This talk of the guru definition of scarcity mindset only actually exacerbates the genuine scarcity mentality, because you just have to look at some of the videos on like CoffeeZilla's channel. There's like 3 videos on there talking about people who took a Dan Lok course who were in, you know, not the greatest of situations, and their financial situations only became worse after investing like sometimes over $10,000 in this guy. Scarcity mindset, when it comes from the mouth of a self-help guru, is a lie that is meant to keep you trapped. They don't want you to become financially successful. They don't want to give you the truth about becoming financially successful. Why on earth would they tell you that the truth about becoming financially successful is that you have got to work at something for years, whether that is in a traditional career path or going self-employed or becoming a freelance or starting your own business? You have to go at it for years and face failure after failure and take massive risks, financial, social, relationship risks, risk with your family, risks in terms of friendships. There is so much more that goes into it than just buying a course and starting a blog. And they sell you this lie because they want to make money out of the propensity that people who are less financially able have to make bad decisions, because cognitive bandwidth is taken up by being in a state of poverty or in a state of financial lack. It is a manufactured, self-fulfilling prophecy that only serves to benefit the guru. And I want you to ask yourself, when going forward you see gurus talking about, oh, you know, you need to invest in yourself, you need to invest in your future, and to do that you have to buy this course, or to do that you have to buy my friend's course, or to do that you have to go to this seminar at this time and get a VIP ticket, because, you know, it'll be so much better if you sit in the front row rather than in the middle or the back rows, despite the fact that the same information is going to be given, and that people are mainly pre-selected in these big self-improvement seminars anyway. So being in the front gives you no guarantee, and it just costs you another $2,000 more. And so when they talk about scarcity mindset, I want you to ask yourself, where is the sale, or what do they get from this? One of the reasons that I make these videos is to hold myself accountable in the future, because I don't want to get to a point in my life where I care about money so much that I would be willing to take advantage of people who are already struggling financially, because that is what a lot of these big self-improvement gurus do. They do not have to charge the rates that they do. They charge the massive course costs that they do because they want to make money. They do not care about you. They only care about funding their lifestyle. So always, always, always take a critical eye to these gurus and ask yourself, what is the incentive here? What are they trying to do? Where's the sale? Where's the lie? Anyway, that's all I've got to say in this video today about scarcity mindset. It is a topic that is either completely misunderstood by self-improvement gurus, whether that's on purpose or whether that is accidental incompetence. That's another time. But what I do know is it is a concept that is designed only to benefit the guru. It does not benefit you to think to yourself that you have to spend whatever money you have left to invest in yourself in the future, when the most important thing is to get through the next day so that you can, over time, improve your life. It's not something that's going to be improved by taking a course. Life is so much more complicated than that. So I hope you found this video useful, and I hope that you will take my impassioned plea for just making an attempt to think more critically about guru sales tactics. That's all I've got for you in this video today. Let me know what your thoughts and questions are in the comment section down below, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.